Everybody. I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. And that was a Burton Holmes travel film, where he went to Iceland and he went to Reykjavik and captured that amazingly weird wrestling, which some of you called wedgie wrestling. It's true. It is. It's an odd thing. But yeah, whatever trips your trigger. So last week on Friday, I had my friend Katya, the entomologist from UC Santa Barbara. We talked about insects, and then we had an Irwin versus Irene Moon performance later that day, which I hope you saw. It was fascinating. It was about moths and about Dr. Irwin Moon from Moody Institute of Science. And yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. What do we got for you? So many things to watch. How about Western Germany, land and its people? Let's learn about that. Enjoy.
Western Germany is a land of industrial might and power, of large manufacturing centers like this one in the Ruhr area. Western Germany is a land with only a few natural resources, but it does have coal, a very important resource. It is a land which cannot feed itself, for much of the soil is generally poor. Every acre of its arable area is used to grow much-needed food. Western Germany is also a land of trade. In fact, the country must trade to live. Among the reasons for the development of trade is the geographical position of Western Germany. It is a key country of north-central Europe. North of Western Germany is the peninsula of Denmark. Among Western Germany's other neighbors are the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Switzerland, Austria, and Czechoslovakia. In trading with these neighboring countries, it makes use of its inland waterways, a network of rivers and canals. Access to the Baltic and North Seas makes it possible for Western Germany to trade overseas. Trade and commerce have helped to give Western Germany one of the highest standards of living in Europe. The people who live and work in this busy, thriving country are the same who, not many years ago, faced the tremendous task of rebuilding after the Second World War. During this costly war, the military might of Germany was checked by the Allied powers. Following World War II, a smaller Germany was divided into Eastern and Western zones. The Eastern zone was controlled by the Soviet Union. The Western zone was controlled by the Allies, Great Britain, France, and the United States. The two zones were called Western Germany and Eastern Germany. In the capital at Bonn, the people of Western Germany set up a new democratic government, the West German Republic. Biggest problem of the new government was to resume its place in the family of nations. What were some of the problems West Germany faced? Lack of land was one problem. Large forests cover many parts of Western Germany. There is not enough farmland to grow food for the more than 50 million West Germans. And much of the available farmland is not too fertile. This small farm, about 12 acres in size, belongs to Hans Müller and his family. Like many German farmers, Herr Müller combines grain farming with stock raising. Pigs are the chief source of meat, and fine cattle provide both beef and milk. Because of the relatively infertile soil, Herr Müller and his son use fertilizer to increase their crop yield. Potash is one of the best of fertilizers. This mineral, chiefly potassium, is mined in some of the eastern parts of West Germany. After being mined, the potash is packaged and made ready for shipment. It will go to farms such as Herr Müller's. Using fertilizers and rotating crops are part of the scientific farming practiced by West Germans. They have also developed another kind of farming, tree farming, growing trees for wood products. In this tree nursery, women are covering the tree seedlings to provide shade. When these trees have matured, they will replace the trees that are cut. In this way, various industries are assured of a continuing supply of wood. The West Germans have developed many uses for their timber. Some is cut into lumber. Some is processed into wood pulp for a variety of uses. From wood pulp, rayon, a valuable synthetic fiber, is made and then is woven into rayon cloth. West German chemists are constantly finding new uses for the country's raw materials. In addition to products from wood, they have developed synthetic oils and gases from another natural resource, lignite. Lignite is a form of very soft coal. Because lignite is soft and found near the Earth's surface, it can be strip mined. Here is one reason for West Germany's industrial might: vast deposits of lignite or brown coal. This is the kind of coal that is pressed into briquettes for use as fuel to run the dynamos that supply homes and industries with electricity. Many of West Germany's heavy industries are concentrated in the Ruhr Valley. The Ruhr-Rhine region is one of many important industrial areas in Western Germany. In the Ruhr Valley, we'll find many mining towns such as this one. This boy is the son of one of the many coal miners who live in this town. It is just about time for Herr Bergmann's shift at the mine. The mine where he works produces bituminous coal. At the mine shaft, a car carries the miners deep underground. Here is another resource, bituminous coal, that has helped to make possible the industrial might of Western Germany. Enough coal is produced for domestic use as well as for export. On rivers and canals, coal is shipped by barges out of the Ruhr region, while iron ore from other countries is shipped into the region. Most of the iron ore needed by the steel industry must be imported from France, Sweden, and other countries. This iron ore, together with ore mined in Western Germany, is used in industrial cities such as Essen and Duisburg, centers of the steel industry. Here, coal in large quantities is used to feed the huge furnaces, to provide the heat necessary to melt the iron ore. This is an ingot of steel. Later, it will be rolled into bars or sheets, steel to supply a variety of West German industries. Among the heavy industries, shipbuilding is important. These men are working on a ship in the shipyards at Bremen. In Bremen Harbor, we see some of West Germany's growing merchant fleet, a fleet that plays a vital part in the country's survival since it must trade with other nations of the world to live. The port cities of Wilhelmshaven, Bremerhaven, Bremen, Hamburg, and Lübeck handle much of Western Germany's overseas trade. What does Western Germany sell for the food she needs? For the answer, we return to industry. Steel from the big industrial centers is used in many factories to produce a variety of products, castings and machine parts, electrical goods, fine surgical instruments, complex cameras and lenses, and scientific instruments of many kinds. Much steel is used in the manufacture of automobiles, one of Western Germany's most important exports. Cars such as these carry passengers on the 4-lane stretches of the Autobahn, one of the best highways in Europe. It connects many parts of Western Germany. By highways, by a fine system of railways, and by an excellent waterway system of canals and rivers, trade commodities are brought to the big ports for export to other lands. Western Germany must trade to live, mainly because it does not produce enough food to supply its people. The products it trades are chiefly coal from the Ruhr-Rhine region, iron and steel products, precision instruments, and chemicals. By scientifically using its natural resources, Western Germany is proving itself an important keystone nation in European economy.
Thank you, Cornette, for that wonderful film about West Germany. And yeah, it was, they cranked it out not too far after there was a West Germany versus an East Germany. And yes, there are indeed films about that. Okay, so behind me on the scanner, we have a film. Is this a Dadaist film? Does it kind of fit in that category? Let's watch and find out. Enjoy. All right. Yes. So that was Victor Egeling, who was German. And this was made in 1924. So almost 100 years old. Visually beautiful. There's a lot of animators from around that time period that were doing these visual, amazing things that kind of look like neon. Some of them eventually did stuff with color. Really beautiful, abstract, beautiful stuff. So, big fan. All right, so I've been scanning a bunch of films from different collectors and from our own collection. And this one is part of a series that we have most of, but we don't have this one. And this one we got from Craig Baldwin, who's based in San Francisco. And I think it has that awesome song that we all like. This is a Career in Atomic Energy for You. Enjoy.
Give me a plan and make it show how it develops and how it will grow into my career.
My career.
What roads do I travel and how shall I go? Will mysteries unravel and how will I know that it's my career?
My career.
Where shall I go?
How do I get there?
Where shall I go?
And how do I get there?
Where shall I go?
And how do I get there?
The theory was revolutionary, that we could get energy from the basic units of matter. But in a relatively short time, we harnessed that energy and put it to use at sea and on land. In the future, we hope this potentially unlimited energy source will efficiently generate much of our electric power, distill fresh water from the oceans, and propel rockets further into space. The full potential of the field is being explored by teams of researchers. But already, more than 235,000 men and women are employed in various parts of this new industry. Maybe you'll be interested by some of the occupations involved with atomic energy. Only in the past few decades have we been able to tap the energy found in the nucleus of the atom. Using fuels derived from uranium ore, we have controlled this energy inside reactors, which convert it to other forms of power. We have stored this energy in explosives and materials for defense. We have channeled this energy to help treat disease. At the same time, a whole new industry has developed which requires many kinds of research and industrial activities involving the production of nuclear fuels, the building and operation of nuclear facilities, reactors, weapons, experimental equipment, and special instruments, and the disposal of radioactive wastes. Scientists, engineers, technicians, and skilled craft workers make up a large proportion of employment in this industry because much of the work is still in the research and development stage. A major group of the research scientists are physicists, but many chemists, mathematicians, metallurgists, and biological scientists are also involved in basic and applied research. This includes such projects as using particle accelerators to study the properties of the particles inside a nucleus, finding new ways of creating fissionable fuel, helping to plan an intricate component for a reactor core, and developing some of the materials that are needed for the implementation of the fusion process, where energy will be created from the combining of hydrogen atoms. Many atomic research projects are also concerned with using radiation for medical treatments and developing new plant strains, as well as finding better protection from unnecessary radiation. Many engineers are also part of the research teams. Mechanical engineers are the largest single group, but many electrical, electronic, chemical, and metallurgical engineers are also employed. Other researchers include technicians who assist the scientists and engineers or operate such test equipment as this slave manipulator to perform standard tests on radioactive materials. By using remote controls, these hot cell technicians remain protected from dangerous radiation by shields of lead and concrete. Hot cell technicians wearing protective clothing also may enter the cell to set up experiments or decontaminate the equipment. And then, many skilled workers are needed to build and maintain experimental equipment. Now, not all scientists, engineers, technicians, and craft workers are involved in research. Many scientists fill management positions. Chemical engineers are needed to set up the processing operations that will mill, refine, or enrich uranium. Mechanical and civil engineers may design and build nuclear power stations. And skilled craft workers such as electricians, plumbers, and pipe fitters are needed at every operating atomic energy facility. These maintenance workers must be highly skilled because of the precision required. For example, pipe fitters may have to work to tolerances of less than 1/10,000th of an inch and use pipes made of rare and costly materials. Such workers as instrument repairers may also have to meet higher reliability standards than in most fields. Other craft workers are needed to manufacture reactors. Many of the skilled workers in this field are all-round machinists, but other specialists, including welders and sheet metal workers, along with helpers and assemblers, are also employed. Every reactor built, whether it be an experimental model or placed in the hull of a submarine or nestled into an electrical generating station, needs an operator. Nuclear plant operators need a basic understanding of reactor theory and must pass government tests to be licensed. Operators who work with research and test reactors may also have to inspect and adjust their control panels. Fuel for the reactors comes from uranium, found mainly in the states of New Mexico, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and Arizona. After geologists and mining engineers have located the ore deposits and planned the mines, most of the employees fill production jobs, such as miners and drillers in underground mines, and truck drivers, bulldozer operators, and machine loaders at open pit mines. After it has been taken from the earth, uranium is extracted from the ores at nearby milling plants. These mills employ many skilled repairers and metallurgical and chemical process workers. Uranium refining and enriching plants, found mainly in Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Illinois, also use conventional chemical and metallurgical processes. Skilled maintenance craft workers account for a large proportion of the employees of the highly automated uranium enriching plants. And many technicians work in the associated chemical labs. Every facility has a program for protecting its employees and reducing radiological hazards. These programs are carried out by radiation monitors who use special instruments to determine radioactivity levels. They also calculate the amount of time workers may be present in radiation zones and may give instructions on safety procedures. Radiation monitors generally work under the supervision of health physicists who set up the safety procedures, training programs, and inspection standards. Some may be involved with research projects dealing with the effects of human exposure to radiation. There are other applications of atomic energy in the health field, including the use of radioisotopes in therapy and as diagnostic tracers. Medical technicians working closely with doctors may prepare and administer specially chosen isotopes to the patients and then make a scan to check the functioning of the different organs. Comparable tasks may be performed in the industrial field by radiographers who use radioisotopes or X-ray type machines to check the thickness and structure of inanimate objects. Specialists in other fields may use radioactivity to measure the age of ancient relics, bones, or landforms. Other occupations that are unique to atomic energy include radioisotope production operators who prepare radioisotopes for shipping, decontaminators who use special equipment, detergents, and chemicals to eliminate radioactive contamination, waste treatment operators who run pumps, compressors, heat exchange units, and other equipment needed to decontaminate and dispose of radioactive waste liquids, and waste disposal workers who seal atomic wastes in concrete containers and transport them to storage areas. Because of the safety and security requirements involved with atomic energy, there are many guards, inspectors, and other security workers employed in the field. Along with the scores of administrative professional and clerical workers found in any industry, many of these workers are employed by the federal government, which has agencies responsible for directing atomic research programs and for regulating nuclear development. Although it's hard to predict what new uses of the atom will be developed or when these breakthroughs might be made, atomic energy could well be the major power source of the future, offering employment opportunities that continue to expand. The jobs will no doubt also continue to pay well and require specialized training and exacting work standards. Wages are especially good for scientists, engineers, technicians, highly trained operators, and skilled craft workers. These are also the occupations that demand special training. About 1/4 of the scientists and engineers employed in research and development have PhD degrees. The proportion of engineers with PhDs is smaller than that of scientists. However, graduate training is preferred for an increasing number of these jobs. And training for such specialties as nuclear physics, nuclear engineering, and health physics is almost exclusively at the graduate level. Courses in high school math, physics, and chemistry will help qualify workers for on-the-job training as operators of reactors, particle accelerators, as hot cell technicians, decontaminators, waste disposers, and in radioisotope production. Members of the armed forces may also receive training in atomic energy work. All individuals who handle classified data or who work on classified projects must have security clearances from the government. There's an atomic energy project in virtually every state. In some cases, plants are located in remote areas, although many atomic facilities are connected with a college or university. Since atomic energy does not require combustion, working conditions are generally clean. Many of the jobs involve potential radiation hazards, but extensive safeguards and operating practices protect the health of the workers, and an excellent safety record has been maintained. If you are interested in any of the occupations in the nuclear field, try to find out more about them. Perhaps you could visit an atomic facility or exhibit. Your school counselor may be able to arrange a tour. Since many of the occupations involved with atomic energy are technical and scientific, consider starting a science project on your own, or with a school group or local club. A hobby is a good way to find out if you like that kind of activity. Or you could read some of the books and government publications from your local or school library. While you're at it, you might want to check on some other careers as well. There are a wide range of opportunities in the world of work. And the more you know about different occupations, the better chance you'll have of developing a career that suits you. So take a look at other career films and talk over your ideas with your parents and friends. Your school counselor can be particularly helpful in pointing out the education and training needed for specific occupations. And a visit to your local state employment office will reveal what jobs are available in your area or any other part of the country. You may feel that your life is now being bombarded with all kinds of new information, experiences, and decisions to be made. But later on, you will see that these were the elements from which you patterned your lifestyle and your career.
Give me a plan and make it show how it develops and how it will grow into my career.
My career.
What roads do I travel and how shall I go? Will mysteries unravel and how will I know that it's my career?
My career.
Where shall I go?
And how do I get there?
Where shall I go?
And how do I get there?
Where shall I go?
And how do I get there?
Sorry, I have some cauliflower in my mouth. So that's the third song by Ralph Lopatin in Counselor Films related to that series. One of them is called World of Work, that song. And then, I don't know the name of it, but What You Gonna Do When the Time Comes and You Have to Earn Your Way. So 3 songs. And they don't have to do songs, but they have them, and they're awesome. So this is definitely a toe tapper candidate for 2023. Oh yeah, we're still doing that. We're going to do that probably in April. And at some point in April, the Found Footage Festival guys are going to pay up on their wager for Clown Thanksgiving. This film is kind of a creepy nationalistic film about 4-H. Enjoy.
Youth on the march. Boys and girls of today on the road to tomorrow. Boys and girls who live in places that to us are far away and little known. Boys and girls who speak strange tongues that few of us understand. Boys and girls who press eagerly forward toward various widely divergent goals. Boys and girls of many lands and different races, yet all loyal and patriotic, all doing their best according to their lights, and all imbued with the hope that is the prime blessing of youth, each group believing implicitly that it is on the only fork of the road to tomorrow that leads to the bright future which every race and nation conceives to be its own peculiar destiny. 50 years from now, our American youth of this passing day will keep a rendezvous with all these other boys and girls in the councils of the world. And what our own youth stand for then will have weight, more or less, in determining whether that will be a better day than this. For 50 years from now, the world will be what all these boys and girls of many lands and races have made it. For they will then be the elder statesmen in the Parliament of mankind. That's why John Deeds is so much more important potentially than he may seem to the casual eye. John and his fine wool Ohio sheep, especially his prize-winning Merino ram. And that's why the appreciative care that Mary Cowell lavishes on Snow White, her purebred Ayrshire heifer, may have a certain bearing on the trend of history. For they belong to a youth movement too, John and Mary and more than 1 million other farm boys and girls in this land of ours. A youth movement that represents the great basic industry of America, agriculture. 1,500,000 boys and girls, and this Ohio boy is one of them. Learn to do by doing is a watchword of the 4-H clubs. Merle Voris learns by feeding purebred Duroc Jersey hogs. Jimmy Junk learns his part by breeding Belgian draft horses. His prize filly, Linda Ann, won the governor's trophy at the Ohio State Fair. Across the river in Kentucky, where the horses are of a different breed, we found another 4-H club boy whose specialty is tobacco. This is Junior Spillman suckering his crop, the second that he has grown as a 4-H club member. Eleanor Clement, who lives nearby in Indiana, is skilled both in homemaking and farming. With 5 years in club work, including 3 in food preservation, she is now a 4-H club leader. Down in Louisiana, in the picturesque Acadian country, we meet Annette Burley. Annette excels in making clothing, as well as in baking wholesome and nutritious bread. Across the high plains and over the Great Divide, down among the foothills of California, we find Glenn Goebel busy grooming his calf for a livestock show. And farther down the coast, not far from the old mission of Capistrano, where the swallows return so surely, we see Melba Ruth Love at her sewing machine. Melba Ruth enjoys sharing home responsibilities, but she enjoys other things too. She wants to be an astronomer. In Puerto Rico, 4-H girls make seashells a money crop. Here's a doll made wholly of shells. Rene with his 4-H ghost. And Miriam in her exquisite 4-H uniform, proudly presenting her purebred Hampshire sow. Demonstration teams acquire skill and confidence that tend to make for more enlightened rural leadership. These girls are from Colorado. This is a Louisiana stock judging team. Thus, the 4-H club member devotes head, heart, hand, and health not only to better farming or homemaking, but also to better citizenship. Each year, selected representatives of these clubs meet in a national 4-H camp in Washington. There they visit national shrines, learn to appreciate more fully the responsibility of citizenship, perhaps meet the president of their country face to face, and hear from his own lips informal words of greeting and counsel. American farm boys and girls on the road to tomorrow. A youth movement rooted in the soil and the cardinal virtues. A movement that has spread to every state in the Union, to Alaska, to Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Samoa, Guam, and the Philippines. A youth movement that without benefit of any propaganda whatever has spread to Europe, Asia, the other Americas, and the Antipodes. To Cuba, for example, where we see Rolando Mascara in his 5C garden. The Padre Varela Needlework Club. Cuban 5C clubs have nearly 7,000 members. Similarly, the movement has spread to Canada, to Venezuela, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, China, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and to Latvia, where until not long ago, 100,000 boys and girls wore the same four-leaf clover emblem that John Deeds and Mary Cowell wear. Wore the same emblem and were bound by the same solemn vow, the 4-H pledge.
I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, my health to better living, for my club, my community, and my country.
These are the apprentice citizens who take the road to tomorrow as representatives of the farm communities of America and of where the 4-H move taken root. These boys and girls move forward toward that remote rendezvous where the issues of tomorrow will be met. We may rest assured that the world of 50 years hence may justly take pride in the work their hands shall have done, the counsel their head shall have given, and the loyalty their hearts shall have devoted to the service of their homelands. For this is indeed a youth movement that America can commend to posterity, one that seeks to achieve its ends without taking anything away from anybody, by the production of useful physical wealth and the creation and cultivation of helpful spiritual and social values. A youth movement that is altogether national, yet one that unites boys and girls of many lands and different races by a common bond. A youth movement dedicated to unselfish service, in which its members strive to build a better home, a better community, and a better country. And thus, of course, a...
Wow. Holy cow. I mean, so we all saw Hitler in there, right? And it was shown as part of this montage of marching youth. And so I I had done some research on this. I think this came out in 1941. And so we weren't at war yet. So I don't know. It's like, was that little segment with Hitler, was that to say like, oh, look at all the youth marching together for the nation and pride, and I mean, holy cow. Plus all the other countries, and I mean, this is definitely before the big World War II, but man. And what's interesting is if you actually look back at in the 20s and 30s, the salute that we associate with a Nazi salute was something that was happening all over the world. In the United States, even, they would salute the flag. Little kids would salute the flag by doing that. So, man, whoa, oh boy. All right, so hopefully this won't get me in trouble. I mean, all of this will probably get me in trouble at some point. But where am I? I never showed up on the screen. I was so floored by it, so you didn't see my wide-eyed, like, oh my gosh. Anyways, this is what we do, is we watch old films and we think about, like, the context of them historically and then the ramifications of them in hindsight, and like, ooh, that didn't work out so well. I was in 4-H, but boy, we did not march. I think we would all sit on somebody's convertible in the Thanksgiving parade and wave. But that's as far as it went. Anyhow, yes, next film. I'm not sure if this is considered really a soundy, but this is a sing-along. So enjoy. There's definitely some cultural appropriation in this, so go ahead and brace yourself for that too. We're just all going to be shocked about what we're seeing today. So here we go. Here's Gus Van Sant's or Gus Van's, not Van Sant, Gus Van's Song Shop. Sing along.
I'm coming, and I'm swinging along, singing a song, coming down happy lane, humming a happy strain, Van, the melody man. Yes, it's your old friend Gus Van with a van load of the songs you like to hear and like to sing. So let's get together and have a good old-fashioned community sing. My brother and sister, we're gonna sing that song that you all love so dearly, called For Me and My Gal. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. Birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody is knowing to a wedding they're going, and they soon will be sewing. Every Susie and Sal, they're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm going to build a little home for 2, 3 or 4 or more in love land for me and my gal. See, that was swell, I hope. Now let's put this next chorus over with a big bang. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. Birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody is knowing to a wedding they're going, and they soon will be sewing. Every Susie and Sal, come on, they're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And sometime I'm going to build a little home for 2, 3 or 4 or more in love land for me and my gal. Well, we're really going places. You know, we do request numbers, too.
Here's a request number, Mr. Van. Nobody's sweetheart now.
Well, hello, Joan. Folks, I want you to meet Joan Brooks. Joan, meet the folks.
How do you do?
And now that you're acquainted, you sing the song.
What, in front of all these people?
Well, yes, and they're going to help you, too, aren't you, folks? Go right ahead.
You're nobody's sweetheart now. They don't baby you somehow. Fancy hose, silken gown, you'd be out of place in your own hometown when you walk down the avenue. I just can't believe it's you. Painted lips, painted eyes, wearing a bird of paradise. It all seems wrong somehow, that you're nobody's sweetheart now. Come on, let's do it again. You're nobody's sweetheart now. They don't baby you somehow. Fancy hose, silken gown, you'd be out of place in your own hometown when you walk down the avenue. I just can't believe it's you. Painted lips, painted eyes, wearing a bird of paradise. It all seems wrong somehow, that you're nobody's sweetheart now.
Well, we're really going places. Now, here's another one of those grand old tunes I'm sure you all know. You remember that great song, Dinah? Well, I'll sing the verse, and I want you all to join in the chorus. Say, Carolina gave me Dinah. I'm the proudest man beneath the Dixie sun. News is spreading about our wedding. I hear church bells ringing. Listen to the song I'm singing. Dinah, is there anyone finer in the state of Carolina? If there is, then you know her, show to me, Dinah, with her Dixie eyes blazing. How I love to sit and gaze into the eyes of Dinah Lee. Every night, why do I shake with fright? Because my dynamite changed her mind about me. Dinah, if she wanted to China, I would hop an ocean liner just to be with Dinah Lee. And now clear your throats for a grand old song. My Gal Sal, and Joan is going to sing it for you. Come on now, let's all get together and give it plenty of schmaltz. Okay, Professor?
They called her frivolous Sal, a peculiar sort of a gal, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow was my old pal. Your troubles and sorrows and care, she was always willing to share. A wild sort of devil, but dead on the level, was my gal Sal. Everybody sing. They called her frivolous Sal, a peculiar sort of a gal, with a heart that was mellow, an all-round good fellow was my old pal. Your troubles and sorrows and care, she was always willing to share. A wild sort of devil, but dead on the level, was my gal Sal.
I never heard so many tenors. You know, then, hey, boys, let's go. Now, here's the story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low-down hoochie-coocher. She was the roughest and toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
She went around with a guy named Smokey. She loved him, though he was a dopey. Took her down to Chinatown, showed her how to kick the gang around. Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
She gave her the townhouse and racing horses. Each meal she ate was a dozen courses. She had $1 million in nickels and dimes, and every day she counted them 1,000,000 times. Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Hi-de, hi-de, hi.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
Ho-de, ho-de, ho.
They put her where they put the crazies. Now poor old Minnie is kicking up daisies. You've heard the story that ends the song. She was a good gal, but they done her wrong.
Yikes. 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 I mean, so, you know, this is before Pat Boone and all that. I don't know. You know, if this is the first time you've ever heard that song, immediately go to YouTube and try to find Cab Calloway's version of it. It's so much better. Holy cow. So, and many of you reflected that in the comments. But, yeah. Anyways, today was a lot of like, ooh, cringy stuff, starting with the men lifting up each other by their butt handles and ending with a relatively uninspired cover of Minnie the Moocher. All right, so if you liked what you saw, at least I tickled your brain, right? I kind of got you, like, your brain was moving a little bit. It's more than sitting there watching the news, right? Watching headlines. If you liked what you saw, you can hit like, or at least if you were intrigued by the concept of what we have done today by showing you these cringeworthy 16mm films, hit the thumbs up, the like, subscribe. We're adding a bunch of new stuff beyond just the lunch shows that we do every day. So watch those. You can also buy us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks or go to patreon.com/avgeeks. Those are all great ways to support us as well, because we're buying new archival cans for some of the rusted cans that we have, and tape and splicing tape and leader and all that stuff. So those are all great ways to support us. You can also hit the super thanks button, which is a YouTube thing. But thanks for tuning in today. Sometimes we are greeted by the rewind devil, but we will persevere. We'll make our way through. Please rewind and love each other. And we will see you tomorrow on Tuesday. And we will say goodbye to January 2023. Everybody take care. It's great to see you.